promised to return. Therefore in that day my people shall know my name, because I myself who speaks will be present. What is written has been fulfilled before our eyes. Those who looked at him will not be ashamed. Soon we will see his transformation. The man Christ Jesus is here.
You do not have to greet the person next to you, but tell them, Abba Father. Let's look for Hebrews chapter 12, verses 12 through 17. Therefore, strengthen the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, so that what is lame may not be dislocated, but rather be healed. Pursue peace with all people, and holiness, without which no one will see the Lord. Looking carefully, lest anyone fall short of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springing up cause trouble, and by this many become defiled. Hey, notice a root can rub off on someone and the other one can rub it off on someone else. It contaminates you. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person like Esau, who for one morsel of food sold his birthright. For you know that afterward, when he wanted to inherit the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place for repentance, though he sought it diligently with tears. He sought it with tears, for you have not come to the mountain that may be touched and that burned with fire, and to blackness and darkness and tempest, and the sound of a trumpet, and the voice of words. You would hear a voice in that mountain where Moses was, so that those who heard it begged that the word should not be spoken to them anymore, for they could not endure what was commanded. And if so much as a beast touches the mountain, it shall be stoned or shot with an arrow. And so terrifying was the sight that Moses said, I am exceedingly afraid and trembling. But you have come to Mount Zion, and to the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, to an innumerable company of angels. Well, you have not come to the mountain that burned with fire, but you have come somewhere else, to a congregation of spirits. But it says there that Esau sold his birthright, and when he realized what he did, the privilege that he lost, it seems that he said, I want it. Excuse me, I did not know what I did. But it was too late. Notice, I have cases here like Barnabas that was carried away by the hypocrisy of the apostles. The 11 apostles told Barnabas, be careful with Paul. Be careful with Paul. We were with Jesus of Nazareth. And be careful that he is not false. So with that hypocrisy, they carried Barnabas away. Hey, until now, you can correct me, because sometimes I do not know certain things, but until now, we do not know if Barnabas ever came back. Because once he was carried away, it is difficult for you to return. Even if he finds out, hey, Peter deceived me, and now how can I go back? Hymenaeus. You have Barnabas, Hymenaeus, Alexander, Philetus, and Demas. Barnabas was carried away by hypocrisy. Hymenaeus shipwrecked with faith. It seems that James affected him by telling him, it is not only by faith, it's by works also. And he shipwrecked in faith. He did not shipwreck because of the person of Paul or by the hypocrisy of anyone, but he started to reason. This cannot be by faith only. It's too easy. There's different ways for you to move away from grace. So then, Alexander, it was that he spoke badly about Paul. Look at 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 14. Alexander, the coppersmith, did me much harm. May the Lord repay him according to his works. You also must beware of him, for he has greatly resisted our words. Yes, there were key people that because of a reason they spoke badly about Paul. And then Philetus said that the transformation had already taken place, that you did not have to wait for the transformation because we are already immortal and we have already resurrected with Christ, and we do not have to wait any longer. The transformation has happened. So then there isn't a supernatural change that will happen to your body, because he started to see the revelation. Well, if we have already resurrected with Christ and we are dead to sin, we are a new creation. Hey, Paul, let me give you my opinion. You are already transformed. And Paul was not in agreement with that. So then Philetus went stray. Demas. Second letter to Timothy 4:9. You have to be careful with the things you say and the comments. If there's something that I have not said, be careful. Because sometimes you think that you have a special spirit of revelation. Look, the apostle doesn't want to say this, but I know it's like that. He'll say it later, and they confuse you, and I am not going to say it because it's not like that. But he has already told you, look, the apostle is hiding this, but I already know that he's transformed. Can't you see him? The apostle has already been transformed. He hasn't said it. Be careful with that. Go live with me a couple of days to see if I am transformed. What happens is that I confess the word, taking captive and using the tools of the covenant to defend myself. But I am not transformed, because if this is the transformation, I will protest. There has to be something more. Yes. But Paul had people like that. In a congregation, there's all kind of people that are inspired. They are spirits. And there are attitudes that come with them from small, and all of a sudden, and they look for someone that's a little weak. He's a little weak in the faith. Hey, come here. You know that I think that this is like that? Yes? Why do you say that? Look, and when you come see, you're confused. They confuse you. Demas, 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 9. Be diligent to come to me quickly. The apostle in necessities. For Demas has forsaken me. I believe he was a very helpful helper. Paul needed him, having loved this present world, and has departed to Thessalonica. Look, this one was not doctrinal. This one wasn't doctrinal. It wasn't that he thought about the resurrection. It wasn't that he was carried away by hypocrisy. This one was the belly, the money. There's people that because of money, they start to look, that of 6'6" can hurt my business. Hide it. And they start like that. No, hide it. And you do not know, you can lose some business. And if you keep firm, then you'll have more business. what calls my attention is that the covenant of grace, not over there. Over there was easy. There, they would shoot you with an arrow filled with poison and they would kill you. Easier, right? Because they would just kill you and that was it. Over there, you would get killed, stoned. Well, because of lighting wood. On a Saturday, doing a barbecue on Saturday, Moses would kill you. Because the covenant was like that. And if it was Saturday you couldn't move. It was a day of rest. But this covenant is more demanding. And these people could not come back. When someone violates this, you violate it and you stay out. Brothers, this is serious. I'm warning you, leave those human feelings out. Forget about that garbage. Don't get into flesh. Don't get into flesh because you're going to pay for it and there is no return. Look, this man sold his birthright, Esau, and when he realized what he had done, he wanted it with tears and there was no opportunity. In grace, hey, in grace you can fail, you can do, but doctrinally you cannot fail because there is no return. Look, here you cannot fail doctrinally. I cannot fail doctrinally. I have made mistakes speaking carnally in situations of the flesh, but in the doctrine, you cannot stray. That's why Paul says, how much worse punishment do you suppose will he be thought worthy who has trampled the Son of God underfoot and insulted the Spirit of grace? Can't you see that the Spirit of grace is the person of God himself in your life? And if you insult that, and that's not the first time it happened. Look, over there in Moses, there was a man that rose up. Numbers 16. Let's look for Numbers 16. This man rose up before Moses. And wow. This is called the contradiction of Korah. How many of you have heard that? Now, Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohat, there's son of Levi and Dathan. Well, there you go. Son of Peleth, sons of Reuben. Here's the thing. Took men. This is the key. That's pure genealogy, you know. And listen, 16:2. And they rose up before Moses. Listen, it wasn't a little. With some children of Israel, 250 leaders. And look who they were. Representatives of the congregation. Men of renown. So then they were not just anyone. They were the best of the 2 million. Of the 2 million that walked with Moses, they stood up before him. And you know what the complaint was? The complaint was, hey, we were doing well in Egypt, and you brought us to this desert with the same shoes. We haven't been able to go and buy. We are suffering here. Poisonous snakes. And then, but since Moses, it says that he was a humble man. Moses says that he prayed. Let's continue. They gathered together against Moses and Aaron and said to them, you take too much upon yourself, for all the congregation is holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Why then do you exalt yourself above the assembly of the Lord? That's what they told Moses and Joshua. So when Moses heard it, he fell on his face. Look, he didn't yell out because he loved Korah and he loved those people. But sometimes you love people, but they persist. So then you can't. There you cannot. The person keeps persisting. It's like a child of yours that persists and you tell him, hey, go, do what you want. And the consequences, you cannot do anything else. You try. But if they do not pay attention, then you can't anymore. Look, he fell on his face and he spoke to Korah, he spoke with him and all his company, saying, tomorrow morning the Lord will show who is his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near to him. That one whom he chooses, he will cause to come near. Do this, take census, Korah and all your company, put fire in them and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord chooses is the Holy One. You take too much upon yourself, you sons of Levi. It happened that 14,000 died at once. The earth ate them. And the yelling from Korah and all those people, the whole congregation was in fear. What is this? The earth opened up and it swallowed them up with their home, with everything they had. With their belongings. Everything was gone. The earth opened up completely. And then Moses had to operate this way. That is called the contradiction of Korah. So then, today is a word of exhortation. Today you're not going to say many amens and Abba Fathers. Today you're not going to laugh very much because it's a word of exhortation. When the father calls the family and says, look, we're spending too much here. Turn off the lights, the water. Let's save because gasoline has gone up. Don't go here. Leave the car alone, right? You know that the fathers do that sometimes. Take it easy for a little while until things get better. So then, there are comments that sometimes I hear. But I hear things and I say, how is it possible of people that have been with me for so long can now? Because the thing is not the question. Is why is that person asking? People that are supposed to say, how am I going to bother the apostle with this question? Because what they are saying is, I am doubting. Now? And look, I do not even answer it. If I answer, I'm going to stay quiet better. Because sometimes I'm saying we are many brothers. We are not just a small group anymore. And then sometimes there's people that are far away, and there's people that do not hear all the tracings. There's people that take long to react. But what I want to warn you about is that after this exhortation that I'm going to give today, look, I'm not here for money. I'm here because of a purpose. I do not care nothing else. Everything I have sown, everything that I have is for this ministry. I do not have bank accounts and I do not have saving, nothing. What I have is what I put on and forward. That's what I do. But when there are people that start to doubt and start to comment, look, Moses spoke with Korah immediately. What's going on, Korah? Tomorrow, this will be resolved tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Lord will answer. I'm sure that Korah was scared. This man is answering me like if he's sure. Tomorrow, this will be known. So then, this is a case. And this ministry that is now tightening up. And now, this is the important part of the project transformation. This is a great privilege to be transformed. Let's see Philippians, some advice that sometimes Paul would have to give those that were with him. Philippians. Paul said once, the problem is that there are no one that is interested in the beloved because you all look out for yourself. Philippians 2:20. For I have no one like-minded who will sincerely care for your state. That's what you need. People that are interested in you, within your well-being. A bishop that's only looking out for himself, that does not care about the work. And I'm speaking this way because we are in times that the net, and if someone has to leave, they have to leave. This is a good ministry. Easy, everyone reigns. But if you're going to touch what the Lord most loves, which is the beloved, I do not care losing them all. I am not with that of numbers. Look, one time here in Miami, they told me, you lost a congregation. There was like 800 of us. And one told me, because I do not have anyone's addresses or telephone numbers, the pastors that they had in those times had them. Look, I'm going to take 200, this one's going to take 300, and we already have everything divided from Hialeah and this and that, Southwest. They threatened me. Those people divided the congregation to themselves. And I lived over there in Coral Springs, like an hour away from here. And I said, well, look, if they can do that, that helps me, because then I know that I do not have no special ministry. That what I have can just leave. Well, they will help me tremendously. Look, hopefully they can do it. And you're not going to do anything. If I do anything, then I truly do not belong in this. I cannot defend myself or call or plot. What is going to happen, let it happen. Don't you think that's better? I will not defend myself. What you did, I did. What did you do? Nothing. Me neither. 2 months later, they did not even exist. Nothing. And on Sunday, I got there and they were all there. Oh, and I did not speak about the topic. I spoke, this is what the word says. And they got bothered. He did not speak about the problem. Because you have to be intelligent. They waited for me to say, look, brothers, there's a situation. And when you do that, the fire turns up. There's a situation that this one's going to do this, that I'm innocent. Nope. I got there blessed with all blessing. And they were in the back waiting for me to say 1,000 things. And I said, the word says. And I continued and I finished like always. Until today, that's how it's been. I do not bother anyone. Because this is not a question of Jose Luis. This is angels. This is a covering. That's why it tells you. That's why it tells you that you have not come to a mountain where they would kill you with a sword and kill you. You are in the congregation of the spirits, of the angels, that here the angels are the ones who say. That's why Moses said, don't worry about it, Korah. Tomorrow we will find out, because he is sure. Moses was a humble man. He wasn't looking out for himself. Look, if the Lord backs Korah, good. I will go back where I came from. But yeah, they gave out newspapers in front of the headquarters, and they called everyone else too. But that's good for me, because to develop a leader, you have to give him fire. I had the privilege of being in a solitary cell, and that's darkness, complete darkness. There's no light there. So then naked, 4 walls and a little toilet, and then a half an inch of water on the floor. So then the tray, when they would bring you food, they do not open the cell. They put it under and it would navigate because there's water. A aluminum tray, and I would get it. A stench of vegetables, government vegetables. So then I would throw them away in the toilet, and I would throw them away and I would flush them. And if that wouldn't put it down, I would get water with my hand with the terrible stench that those vegetables had. And I was 3 days there. Hey, what a privilege. There I gave my mind exercised. You know what would help me? I felt sorry for the one next to me. He would, you know that cement that has little points that's not well done? He was hitting himself and he had all of this destroyed. I felt sorry for him, but that's his case. Everyone takes on their own weight. I'm not going to get into his problems. Let everyone, he had his face all. And I would say, hey, take it easy, man. This is temporary. And I did not know this covenant. I'm speaking. But those 3 days helped me a lot. Because you have to give your mind a lot of exercise, your senses. When you go through a tribulation and you take off running quickly to resolve it, no, you got to hold on. Breathe in deeply. But if you're going to take off running right away, imagine. a solitary cell, very dark. When they would open the door in the morning, there would come out a light. I couldn't even look. But you learn. In life, you learn a lot. And you do not have to be complaining about anything. Forget about that. All of that is garbage. All of that is nonsense. Sometimes you complain about you drops water and you're going to kill half the world just because they stepped on your foot. Forget about that. Forget about that. Philippians chapter 3 verse 2. Oh, Father, this tracing has taken so long. Look. Beware of dogs. Ooh. Beware of evil workers. There's evil people, and they could be here in glory and grace. Be careful. Don't think just because they say blessed and Abba Father, you could learn that. Look, Peter lived as a Gentile. Peter, that criminal, Peter, when he heard Paul, he said, oh, this is easy. This is easy. Look, you can eat pork. I have to say blessed. And he got in within the Gentiles to hurt them. That's why Paul told Peter, if you being a Jew, how could you live as a Gentile? There's hypocrite people that get in, and then they tell you, hey, be careful because you're far away from me. But the tree is known by the fruit, and the bird is known. Beware of evil workers. Beware of the mutilation. This is the circumcision. Look, beware of the mutilation. Paul was already saying, be careful with those who preach the circumcision. Did the world take care of this? No, that's why the religions are the way they are. A last advice, Romans 16, verse 7, 18, and 19. Well, 17, 18, and 19. And with this, we can finish. Now I urge you, brethren, note those who cause divisions and offenses contrary to your praises or the way you dress. No? Which you learned, and avoid. What? Don't be their friends. If they call you, don't answer. Look, it's so-and-so. I am busy. I'll call you later. I'm busy. If you got the phone by mistake and you know that they're going to speak garbage, tell them, look, I'll call you back. And then when they ask you, why didn't you call me? Oh, I was busy. You have to avoid them, but since you have good manners and you do not want to offend them, you don't want to tell them, I avoid you. No, call me later. Look for the way to get out of it, and if they ask you, you tell them the truth. You try with good manners, A, B, and C, right? For those who are such do not serve our Lord Jesus Christ. In this case, but their own, and with smooth words and flattering speech deceive the hearts of what? What does naive mean? They deceive the hearts of what? You know that I do not have a lot of education, so I need help with this. Naive. So then he is fooled easy. They say yes to anything, right? They do not have what? Malice. What a shame, huh? Look at verse 19. For your obedience has become known to all. Therefore, I am glad on your behalf, but I want you to be wise in what is good. And what is naive? What does naive mean again? that it is what? So then now it says to be naive in what? You know what that means? That you are not malicious. You're not looking to see. You're not saying this one's doing this and this one's doing that to me. Be careful. Watch him. No. Let them fool you. Don't be in malice. If they're lying to you, let them lie to you. Look, people tell me lies and I believe them. Yes, they tell me, Apostle, look, this and that, and I need this. Don't worry about it. And then someone else tells me, Apostle, they fooled you. Be calm with that. I am naive. I do not have malice. If you tell me something, I believe you. And if someone tells me that's a lie, well, that's his problem. My thing is to believe. If he tells me that, I have to believe what he says. And if it's not like that, and what about if it gets fixed by saying it that way? I do not know. But you're not supposed to, not me. You are not supposed to be with malice with your brothers. Let everyone sow and let them get messed up. The angel is listening to them. Here, no one deceives no one. Here, no one deceives no one. Here, deceivers have come and look, they're not here. And they are, well, I'm saying, I do not even know where they are. They're not over there. They're not here and they're not over there. Because what you sow, you will reap. Jesus of Nazareth said, with the rod that you measure, you will be measured. Play clean. Do not be slick. Play clean. Calm. It's better to suffer the grievance. But do not cheat. Do not plot, because that's not going to help you, period. On the long run, and especially you, that you are a spirit, a just spirit made perfect. I'm saying if you were just any garbage, keep deceiving, but you are a very special people. And then the angel is aware of everything about you, and he's on top of you. He does not let you even get by with one because he loves you so much. No, he says, he's mine. No, be soft with him. No, I cannot take it easy with him. He's mine. He is my property, and I will not leave him alone. I am stuck on him like a piece of gum. Like a woman that's in love, that she does not, or like a man, and the jealousy. My name is jealousy, the Lord says. I am jealous for him and her.